You're alone all the time. Does it ever puzzle you? Have you asked why you seem to fall in love out again? Do you ever really love or just pretend? What do you say?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? This is Dr. Phil Drice. Today's a great day. As you can see from my from the picture in the background, that's my good friend Tom McGovern over here. And before April 15th, which is Monday, you guys should be coming over here and get the largest and the fastest tax refund in the United States of America, bar none. But the reason why I'm here today, before I run out of battery power, you saw the last scene. It's about I got the decision and order of Judge Maria Reyes. I also have
My man, what is this?
the SUR reply.
What the hell is this,
Thank you.
my man?
We also have the SUR reply show. Sorry there, partner. It doesn't do anything that would hurt. I'm doing a shoot right now. This is the evidence to show as part of the rest of the litigation that is supposed to show how Judge Maria Reyes was engaged in judicial misconduct. And that's what I'm trying to prove in order for me to get some justice. This is a SUR reply. That's when a judge loses all confidence in the government lawyer and what they say. That's why I went off on Stephen Weintraub and Stephen Weintraub. This is Dr. Phil Drice. I want to say I'm sorry, but that's what I had to do to get what I wanted. And I got what I wanted, and thank you for giving me back a copy after 2 years in homelessness, voluntary homelessness. That's what they wanted to do to me, and I'm former Special Forces Army Airborne Ranger. I don't give a damn. I'll live anywhere, do any goddamn thing. And on top of it, I'm a Haitian. I'm not spoiled, okay? And this is what you call the Haitian aristocracy in America, a defunct aristocracy, and because we dark-skinned, we don't get no freaking respect in this country, okay? My girl nervous when we together because people looking at us funny because she's light-skinned, she's Puerto Rican. Now, come on now. There's no reason to do that, all right? I ain't got color issues. I only have economic issues, and I have issues on when you're dumb and you're stupid. This is a supplemental log for Friday, March 25th, 2011. This is the continuing saga of all of the plotters against me that helped destroy my life. This segment is exclusively for Judge Maria Reyes and the two other judges prior to her that I have known, just like I knew 3 chairmen of housing. I have known 3 chairmen of housing. And everybody would like to give a shout out to Miss Daniela. I think her YouTube name is Foxfly. She made a lot of wonderful suggestions. And I don't have to be such a wretched, melodramatic, think I'm an actor guy, other than just present the facts and the evidence as they are. I'm angry, I'm all of that, but that's for another time, another situation. This is about presenting the facts, recording it, in case something happens to me. This is the judgment and order of Judge Maria Reyes. Okay? And respondent's order to show cause to restore this proceeding to the calendar, and the motion by Stephen S. Weintraub to be removed as guardian ad litem are consolidated for determination. In rendering this decision, the court considers the respondent's order to show cause, petitioner's affirmation in opposition, respondent's reply affirmation, and petitioner's SUR reply only. The court acknowledges receipt and did read respondent Philip Drice's ex parte submissions. However, as they were ex parte, they cannot be considered by the court as it reaches its decision. That's what the problem is, because my guardian ad litem, Mr. Stephen Weintraub's hands were tied. This is a gentleman where I absolutely abused him, humiliated him, degraded him, blasted crap all over him, all over the internet in front of everybody, all the way to the White House.
He filed papers against the court, to the court against me. Judge Maria Resos brought a big cop in there. I'm not violent. I don't need to do anything like that. I'm a pretty educated guy. I know what to do and what my limits are. But that shenanigan, that show, that performance that was calculated and performed did accomplish my goal. I finally got him to work for me instead of working for human resources to put me out, as you've seen in the last segment. And that's how it works. You've got, this is a war of the intellectuals against poor people who don't have an education. And it can be traced to a race-based situation because the people they're dealing with are the disenfranchised that have been apartheid on a federal reservation, which is the largest Indian reservation, the most populated Indian reservation in the United States of America, which is New York City Housing Authority, with approximately 800,000 tenants. But only 500 of them are registered, and those 300 are supposed to be in line to inherit that apartment, and it's the elimination of the administrative process that leads to the federal violations of diverting funds and Title VI violations, okay, under the Civil Rights Act of 1967, which is you're doing it to black people, you're doing it to Puerto Ricans, you're doing it to the disenfranchised, you're doing it to poor people that the federal government through Congress said that they take care of. But it was through the Clinton administration, it is alleged that it was through the Clinton administration's desire to eliminate welfare that your governor was probably the premier architect who unleashed NYCHA, who dissolved any competent oversight, just like the regulators of the banks. It's been shown that the Democratic Party, or the Democrats, did orchestrate this big thing about this housing bubble. Okay? And they forced banks to make loans that they knew were going to fail. And then they want to blame somebody else for those bank failures and that all of that money that went down the tube. But it was designed to keep them in power. And when you're in power, you can cover things up. Okay? So this is what's happening, people. And in the SUR reply, let me show you here, where this guy says it's his, I'll read it, you'll get it in the book and online, okay? You've got NYCHA committing perjury in this document right here. This is the SUR reply. NYCHA commits perjury. Let me show you where. First of all, they said you got to be over 62 years old to be living there. And that I was the only one that was living in that apartment that was in that development. Now we find out that's not true. And when we find out that's not true, the judge want to give them exemptions. You can't go back. Okay? Here we go right here. Which is Carol Brookins. Carol Brookins was living there before she turned 62. Okay? They didn't want to count that one. Let me give you another one. We're going to get better. Barbara Davidson. Barbara Davidson is the sister of Margaret, who works for Councilman Comrie. And when it got this bad, Barbara Davidson right here, when it got this bad, they got her to move out of Shelton House. That's how big it is. Barbara Davidson's been living there for 30 years. She didn't take the buyout, just like my aunt didn't take the buyout. That's why we were still in that apartment. They want to make it senior development, but they were supposed to give you $15,000. Okay? Now, this is the big deal right here. This is Mr. James Edwards in apartment 6N. He's got a Michelle Guy who lives there. She was born in 1976. What is she doing living there? He was born in 1947. Now, you see, he's got a son and a daughter. A son and a daughter right there. Now, that's where the fraud comes in. because in the paper, NYCHA reclassified him as a grandson, not a son. And the judge copied the exact same stuff. That's what I'm going to hit her with, along with the trial transcript of where NYCHA said nobody under 62 lives there. Now, here is the beauty. This is Cynthia Hill, okay, with her husband, DEBACLE. Okay? She was born in 55, he was born in 66. But you got to understand, the lease, I've got it on video, that she said that they put him on the lease 3 years ago. That's another point of perjury for NYCHA in the settlement of the minutes or the transcript. Okay? That's how they're all busted. Just presenting the facts. Just presenting the facts. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you. Supplemental log, November 29, 2010. This is Miss Cynthia Hill, the last real tenant association president that there was. They fixed the Khadijah Wilson fixed the vote to put Neva Harper in there. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is the evidence that right now we've got everybody committing perjury in court because you're not a senior citizen, you live there, and your husband's name was added on to the lease, what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
So now, when they put me out, weren't they doing a whole lot of wrong?
Yeah.
And how you doing? This is Phil DRICE. Today is the 12th of April 2012, and I'm right here at the Civil Courthouse where I just got Stephen Weintraub. He's up there on the 4th floor, and I'm here at the Civil Courthouse. He just gave me the SUR reply and the judgment in order for me able to prove that Judge Maria Resos plagiarized the document. So all you morons out there, that means she copied what they put, and those things, when you look at the evidence or the exhibits behind what they put, it's full of perjuries, or it's incomplete, or inconsistent, and oh, they screwed up, and damn, now we add all of that, the complete 33-page of the letter to the president, and then when we have it complete and bound, and got 5 copies to go to the U.S. Attorney General, because a civil court landlord-tenant judge in part, I think it's part A, in Queens County Civil Court cannot help New York City Housing Authority circumvent federal law by denying the administrative process to the people that come in a holdover proceeding. The first thing the judge should ask in a holdover proceeding for a NYCHA tenant is, did they get a copy of the administrative process? And I've got tens of thousands in every single county in Queens, in every borough in Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, everywhere. Guess what? Bloomberg administration, you making me feel real good. How's homelessness for me doing for you? Well, Bloomberg, you can't be that much of a genius and that freaking stupid to pick on me. I'm a sibling of Haitian aristocrats. I'm not some poor freaking nigger anywhere. I didn't live in the project. We didn't ask to be in the project. Y'all bought that building after, and it was supposed to be a $15,000 buyout. That was 20 years ago. Right now it's about $40,000 to have taken that apartment from me. You didn't want to pay. You don't have to pay me now, but you're gonna pay me later. You're gonna pay a whole lot more. It's like a freaking mortgage. So guess what? I'm enjoying homelessness. The new season is coming out, and guess what? Hallelujah! Come on now! We're back in regular season, and it's a beautiful thing. Right here, civil court. I just got the paperwork. Now, we've got a clean sweep, because the whole idea of the redlining is to be able to prove how do you make it legal for it to have gotten away so long. And because you've got a judge. You got 5 judges and 5 exclusive NYCHA courts, special courts, that any NYCHA brought matter is taken to a Judge Maria Resos upstairs. Nice, beautiful, nice looking Puerto Rican lady. I think she wants to have my baby. But it ain't gonna happen unless it's by immaculate conception after I die. Because, Judge, what I'm saying is that you're helping railroad your own kind. You might be some light-skinned Negro, but that don't take you away from the whole Negro category, Judge. All right? You should have a little bit more empathy, and you should have done something, especially when you had enough evidence that my case should have been dismissed on numerous occasions because of NYCHA inconsistencies, perjuries, or things that they violated. But getting rid of me was a big deal. Do you still think it's funny? Do you still think it's a big deal? I think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal, and guess what? That's my heart out to you there, baby. Mwah! Big kiss for you, Judge Maria Racers, because that's as close to me as you'll ever get. Bye-bye.